There I am, and I'm about to. Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome to a surprise morning of Mornings with Andy and the Dennis and Andy Show. I'm your buddy, Andy. Hello, 31-year veteran of the comic book industry. That way is Big D, and the D stands for Dennis. Let's be real.
Yeah, because anything else would be wrong.
Exactly. Got a few things on the agenda this morning. Over the weekend, if you followed, we were at Big Lick Comic Con. I was there as a guest, signed some autographs, sold some books, had a fun time, and Dennis was there, pimping out Kor-Drath at the table as well to get some signups. We met some cool people, got some more signups to the campaign, so go sign up for that. Link is in the description below. And we thought we would also talk about the magnificent, the glorious, the something that has never happened before in cinema history, Prey, the movie. And we also watched The Grayman, starring Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans as well. And we can chat about that. Look at all that stuff.
So
Look at
much.
it. So much to chat about. All right, let's start off with Big Lick. Comic Con Big Lick is in Roanoke, Virginia. It was a fun con. Hung out with some friends, like I said, signed some books, typical con fare, sold some books, signed some books, that type of stuff. But more importantly, pick some stuff up. Oh, yeah. Had to go out and get me some comics, and I know Dennis did as well. So we thought we would do a little bit of sharing because sharing is caring. Ronald says he hasn't seen any of them shows. Well, you might want to when we're done talking about them, or you might not. I don't know. Dennis, if you'd like to go, Marcus, hello, hail to you as well. Dennis, if
Well,
you want to go first, I always like to say ladies first.
so instead, I'll go first. So
Oh,
I'll save definitely the best for last. But this one was more of just some fun stuff that I had found, or a few holes that I needed to fill. I wound up picking up a few of the old Micronauts, just kind of filling in a couple of holes. I think I'm just going to go through. I'm just going to collect them all. I really was on the hunt for Defenders, Gold Key, Star Trek. I'm missing two Defenders, and I've got them. I'm missing one $6 million man. I think one Space 1999. So there's just a few ones that I need just to complete them. So that's what I was on the hunt for. But Micronauts fill into that category too, even though I really wasn't on the hunt for them.
so my question is, if you say you're going to try and get all of them when it comes to Micronauts, what exactly does that mean? Because there is
Just
a
the
lot.
first run. Just the first run.
Oh,
The new voyages. I wasn't so fond of those, but the original Micronauts run were awesome. I had some of the toys as a kid. Not all of them, but I had some, and they were just cool. I used to own them again during one of my purges. It went just like one of my next ones that I'll show you after Andy. Same. It's the same situation.
okay. I hear you. All right. Well, then I guess I'll save the best for last as well. This one isn't super spectacular, but I picked me up a original Ghost Rider #1 from 1992. It reprints the first appearance of Ghost Rider, which was drawn by Mike Plug, famous Mike Plug, who also did, I believe, the first Man Thing comic book, not in the magazine, as well. So I had to get me this. I don't really care about having the original first issue. The reprint's good enough. And so I picked up this bad boy. Can't remember what it was. I think it was like $5-6. Wasn't too expensive. So that was a good one to get.
Well, the next one kind of falls into that same category. I wound up getting rid of them. Akira. I used to own them all in really nice shape. My wife kind of made me purge things. So I'm like, yeah, time to recollect them. So slowly but showing them up. Freddy's Comics. He had a nice stack of them, and I got 5 of them that I, had to recollect some of the earlier ones. 7, 9, 10, 12, and number 5.
Well,
Most
let
of
me
them
tell
are
you,
in really nice shape.
they are in great shape. I looked at the prices on those some bitches, and they aren't cheap. Holy crap.
Yeah, the ones that are really pricey, obviously the first couple and then like the last 3. But luckily, I already recollected those. But yeah, it's gonna, again, this is why, folks, don't get rid of your comics, because that one day you're gonna say, why did I do that? You're gonna want to get them again, and you're gonna wind up spending a lot more money than what you did the first time.
That is true. Let's see. Next up, uh, this is a fun one. People will be like, why in the world did you buy that? Captain Planet #1. Yes. I love the costume design. Cover by Neil Adams. I mean, it's not like a super exciting cover, but still a Neil Adams cover. The main reason I got Captain Planet #1 is because it's penciled by Jose Delbo. Jose Delbo, I had as a teacher in the Kubert School. He's a great man, a great artist. He's retired now. Hope he's enjoying it. So that is why I got Captain Planet #1. $5, baby. Couldn't resist.
Nice. Star Trek The Motion Picture Magazine. Now, this reprints the original motion picture that was first done in Marvel Comics. It adds some new features and everything in it. It's really cool. The back page, yep, that was enough to do it. I really wish they were both glossy, because you can see this glossy paper really held up over the years. It loses a little something in the transition, but it is cool. But you can definitely see, on the inside. Yeah, this is nice. This was in great shape. I have a hard time finding these good magazines in great shape, so I was happy. This was a no-brainer for me.
You know you're a nerd when you get excited over a spread of a Starship Enterprise and not a Playboy Center spread. Dennis is like, put that down. I've seen that plenty of times. Oh, look at that Starship Enterprise spread. Oh, those back thruster things are spread apart
Back
nicely.
thruster things. Oh my God, I almost have to get off this just because you said that. I just have to get out of the stream. You're
The
killing me.
bulbous hull of the ship is coming right at me. Oh, look at it. Look at it glistening. Oh, Jesus. What is that? Piss in that yellow Green Bay Packers mug? Why would you show that?
What do you mean? This is amazing. There's my
Oh,
there's my Nitschke one, and there's my Favre one. Oh, lenticular babies, lenticular.
no. What's up, Richie Dupe? Hail to you as well. All right. Well, since you had to throw up that awfulness of
Awfulness, you mean the heavenliness?
no, I mean the Packers stuff. The
Oh,
the Star Trek's fine. I
oh,
bought, and yes, I did buy this. I got it for less than it shows. G-Men, New York Giants comic book. G-Men #1, Together Blue, because they're blue about how bad their team is. Came out, and in October 24th, 2021, that was probably at a game. I got it because the Avengers are in it, and the artwork is pretty nice by David Messina, who, if I remember correctly, did the new ROM stuff when it came out a few years back. So his art's pretty cool. If I open this up and if the art sucked, there's no way I would have bought this. But the art was cool. I like collectible comics like this. So I was like, why not? What the heck? The G-Men, the Giants. The G-Men don't know where the G spot is. They're together blue because their team sucks. Right, Dennis?
wow, wow.
You know I'm right.
It's a good thing Michael's not on here.
God, I wish he was.
All right, my next one is the Savage Land. This is the trade that collects it. It collects the X-Men. Yeah, this is great. Obviously, it's Chris Claremont stuff. This is an absolutely fantastic shape. Of course, I have all the originals. I may or may not actually have this one as well already, but it was in such a nice shape. I was just very excited about it.
You
And
know, I almost went and pulled mine off the shelf. Yours is definitely in fantastic shape. I can just look at the spine on mine, and the spine's a little faded. And no, that is in spectacular shape. I can't wait till I come over with mine and do a subtle sleight of hand, and you'll still have a copy. Just
I
not that
will.
copy.
Yeah. But anyway, this is a great storyline going back to the Savage Land. Sauron, they convinced the X-Men to go back in there. Great find, great read, and I already read it. We sat there in the hotel one night, and Andy was reading his funnies, and I'm like, I already know what I'm reading. Bam. It was great.
That's right. Well, I'm not going through every one of these individually. As you can see, it's a stack of Khazars. That's right. Like Dennis said, he's collecting his Akiras again because he got rid of them. Well, guess what? I used to have 1 through 34 of Khazar. Keep wanting to say Quasar of Khazar. I bought it when I was a kid. I remember getting almost the entire run from Mile High Comics when I was a kid. Excited when that package showed up. I still have number 1, and I thought, you know what? It's a short series. I'm going to go back and rebuy them. I cannot believe I picked up this many of them at the show. I now only need 15 books. I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 16. I picked up 16 Khazars at the show. I already had 2. That's 18. So actually, I need 16 books.
Val wants to know if it's the original.
Khazar is the campaign that I backed from the Barton brothers. But these are the original, not the very original. It's volume 2, but still. Brent Anderson artwork, and then from Brent, it went to Ron Friends, and there were a few issues in there that Armando Gil drew. He also did inking on the series, and I think there's another fill-in by somebody else. So, great stuff.
Well, and I know some of you may laugh, but I wound up getting Rob Liefeld, Captain America, and, signed ones with the COA on it. I do love Rob's stuff, and I know I take a lot of crap for it, but I don't care. I love him as an artist. It was an exciting time in comics, even when he came on to do this stuff. So they had this. I used to have it. Again, it was in one of my purges. So went back and had to recollect it again.
Look at that.
Ronald wants to know if you have the first appearance of Khazar.
What was it in? I don't even know what it was in.
I don't know.
And Dennis, just for that great stuff you showed and I've showed so far, what you guys don't know is we're live in front of a studio audience. Audience, what do you think of the show so far?
Yeah. Oh, it was Khazar number 1.
Well, then I have that Khazar number 1 as well. That has a John Buscema cover.
First appearance, that lied. I was going to say I thought it was X-Men. X-Men number 10.
Oh.
So I have it.
You deserve a smack for that.
I know. Well, one of them, the comic book came up and it said first Khazar. Maybe it's his first original one. I'm like, that's not right.
Khazar is actually a
certified badass.
He is.
It's true. He's a certified
Khazar
badass.
rocks.
Stat Zero, what's up? Hyper Kaiju, hello.
See, he even likes Khazar.
Yeah, you're right.
All right.
X-Men number 10, yeah.
Voodoo Child.
Voodoo Child.
Picked up 6-issue run on Voodoo Child. Virgin Comics put it out. Weston and Nicolas Cage. So, you know what? I have never read it at all. I know very little about it, but I was like, dang. You know what? For an entire run like that, I got these for $1 a piece. So, Nicholas, I hope it's good. For $1 a piece, it's worth a run.
I've never been to the Savage Land. Wait a second. No, I've been to Dennis's house.
It is savage.
I picked up to get into the mindset, and I do love John Buscema's artwork. I picked up Conan the Barbarian, King Size Annual, number 5, because it is a number 5, 1979, 10 years old when this came out. Kor-Drath, The Reckoning is coming. Sign up, link in the description below, and also in this chat. So sign up for that. We are a little over 800 signups. Want to bust 1,000. So spread the word about the campaign. So there it is.
See, Andy. Crom.
I saw Crom. Oh, I saw.
Yeah. I know a couple of the guys are already laughing at that. Well, I wound up picking up Max, first and second issue. Can never have enough Maxes.
It's good stuff. I'll say it is. I don't have many more. Not really one I'm going to go.
Well, then while you're putting it away, I'll show you a special one that I got. That somebody got for me.
Oh, hell yeah. That's the most expensive book in your collection now.
Look at that. Move over X-Men #1.
WWE Hero, signed by the artist. Who's that? This guy. I bet you showed that to Susie, and she was like, wow, that's awesome.
She went, huh, Andy does wrestling?
10, 12 years ago. The real question is, do you sit down and show her each individual book you got?
I did. I said, by the way, do you want to see my stuff? And she goes, no. And I'm like, but you're going to look at them, right? Fine.
That's about how Helen is. I don't show her the stuff, though. All right, moving on. I've only got 3 left. I've been looking for this one ever since a professional stream where it was brought up a few months back. Another one with beautiful artwork by John Buscema on the inside. The Frankenstein Monster, number 7.
Oh, yeah.
John Buscema cover, John Buscema artwork on the inside. Been looking for it. Flipping through a guy's box at the show. His miscellaneous box of stuff. It was alphabetized. Saw this and was like, holy crap. That is one that this wasn't even on my wish list. It was just top of mind, and I saw it, and I was like, got to get that. Got it, read it, thought it was cool.
Impulse buy, we call that.
That's right. Frankenstein is quite the virtuoso. I didn't realize how much he talked in this book. So
I mean, honestly, Universal Monsters, how do you go wrong with any of those?
But he talks a lot. Didn't realize Frankenstein had the vocabulary.
So his name's Andy. Andy the Monster. Oh, yeah.
The only part of me that was pieced together was the junk down below. And after a well-hung black person passed away, I said, can we do a transplant? So, what are you showing? Green Hornet.
Green Hornet. Guys, I do kind of like Green Hornet. This is the one with the foil card. I'm trying to get the foil to shine a little bit. Like I said, it's another one. It was a buck and a thing, and I'm like, can you ever not pass up a Green Hornet? Yeah, I did. Oh, why is the thunder coming?
Because you got a Green Hornet.
Oh.
Nobody buys that. I hope that was actually 50 cents.
No. A full buck.
Oh, you paid 95 cents too much.
Bruce Lee is turning over at
you. Unlike that issue of Faith I bought you, which is well worth the money.
Yep. This is way better.
Another one, I just learned about this. So Fantastic Four fan. We all are. Silver Age Fantastic Four, John Byrne run. But I never knew until a couple weeks ago that Ramona Fradon, the talented, very talented artist that started, I think she was the first one to draw Metamorpho. She worked on Aquaman at DC. She worked on the Super Friends. Long career in comics. You don't associate her with Marvel. Boom. She did this issue of the Fantastic Four, inked by Joe Sinnott. It is glorious. She did not do the cover. She just did the inside. It's issue 133, April 1973. just a great book. It's going up a little bit because I guess this is the second appearance of Thunder. Thunder, bringing the thunder and the pain.
Those are good classic
Ramona
issues.
for Don.
That is the stuff worth collecting today.
Yep. So I got that.
I got something a little bit different. Warframe. It's a convention issue. It looked pretty cool. And again, it's something I'm like, it looks kind of neat. You know me, I will try anything once.
Oh,
so
God.
I have not had a chance to read
Don't I
this
know
one
that
yet.
from spending a weekend with you in a hotel room? Jesus. That's his new middle name.
Yeah, whatever.
Dennis, I will try anything once. Turner.
Andy, those are not pillows. Smith.
Hey, tried anything once. Moving on. Yes, it is a slab book. It is a book I already own. I try not to buy slab books that I don't already own because I like to be able to look through them. This is a 9.4. This thing, I don't even know when this thing was graded. There's no year on when it was actually graded. But you'll be able to tell by the case. Oh, wait. There's 1999. Damn. So, and you'll be able to tell by the case how old this thing's been encased. 9.4 since 1999. I do know that CGC does recasing for a nominal fee, and the grade will not change because CGC is doing it. So I will probably get this reslabbed so it's more up to date in the slabbage.
I would. I mean, the case is in rough shape. I mean, it's scratched and
it's scratched.
But the beauty of it is that's why it protects the comics.
Yep. If I really wanted to, I could crack this sucker myself. That'd be how easy it is. So yeah. So there is my Inhumans #1 9.4. That means I now own 3 of these. Not graded, but just 3 copies of Inhumans #1. I have 2 ungraded copies, 1 in rougher shape, 1 in better shape, and now this one.
Wow, pretty soon you'll be collecting Darkhawk, and I can call you Joe Sweeney.
I already have 1 copy. That's all I need.
Oh.
I'm waiting for you to buy it for $50. Oh, it's a 9.8. Oh, it's shiny. It's
Lady Death, the Crucible, #1. Check out that silverly, foily goodness. Again, I had this as a kid, and one of the guys had it, and I was like, oh my God, you're killing me. Oh, beautiful. I had to pick it up. Absolutely had to pick it up. You can watch us on either channel.
You watch either channel, just subscribe to both.
That's right.
Hit that subscribe button.
That way you know you get notified, because I do know once in a while some of my friends say, I didn't get notified on this channel, but I did on this one. So, hey, protect yourself. Subscribe to both our channels.
Protect yourself. I say protect yourself. Oh, that's me.
The Wind Rider. They only had issue #1. This looked kind of interesting to me. Ape Entertainment. It's a 3-issue miniseries. I got 1. If I like it, I will be on the hunt. I'll add it to my list. But the art looked kind of interesting, so I did it.
You did it. You broke down and did it.
I picked up a different Prometheus cover, Ablaze. I've got one of the I've got the main cover, so that one was cool. So that was just a little variant.
Nice.
And then my grand finale.
Dun dun dun.
This is not a comic book.
I'll full screen you because I care.
Oh yeah. There we go, everybody. A 3D comic collage. There's a gentleman that was at the show that makes these, and if you turn them, you can see they've got different layers and levels. So he actually takes a comic book and does it. This is from Classic X-Men #1, Volume 1, number 43 from 1990. And the cool thing is he even puts the history of the book right on the back where this particular book came from that he winds up cutting up. And yes, because it wasn't like X-Men 101 or one of the really expensive ones, I have no problem with that. But he does such a nice job. He had a lot of different ones. Some absolutely fantastic ones. They had Iron Man 200, Silver Centurion. But he does a great job. They're in a nice, already ready to hang frame. You can see the back, depending on if it's vertical or horizontal. They range from I think $150 to about to 200.
Now you get smaller ones. You get smaller ones for like $50.
Yeah, I was going to say for the bigger ones. Yeah. And for those of you guys who like them, and he does custom ones, especially if you have them, this is the guy's information. So I'm going to give him a shout out because it's just really, really cool stuff.
You should hold on. Hold that up. I'm going to post the link right here. That code. Actually,
I missed him at Heroes because I couldn't attend Heroes. He was there, so I'm glad I caught him there because if they didn't have this, I'm telling you that absolutely
post his website in the chat.
Okay, I will.
All right, Val wants to see more Kor-Drath. I do have the colors to the wraparound cover that we're going to do as a variant with no logo or anything, a virgin cover, if you will. These are almost the final colors. Just got to do a couple little tweaks. But there is the virgin wraparound cover for Kor-Drath, The Reckoning. Oh, yeah, baby. So go sign up for that. The link is in the description below. And I have to do a new piece of art with Adriana today. I did a new piece of art with Kor-Drath last week. And coloring will be had. So there you go. Thanks for posting that. There's the link to the man if you want to get a nice photo collage. All right, let's move on to Prey, the movie. The first, not the first Predator movie, but the first time Predator apparently came to Earth.
Now, we did a non-spoiler review when we were traveling to the convention on the road. What did we do?
Bullet Train.
Oh, was it Bullet Train?
Yeah, because that was traveling to the convention. We saw Prey Saturday night of the convention.
Yeah, you may be right. It's all run together.
But it wasn't driving to it. So anyhow, we have not reviewed Prey yet.
Darn it.
It basically takes place 300 years ago, 1719. The Native Americans are Comanche. You do have some French soldiers in the movie towards the end. And the basic gist is, it starts off and there is the main character is, I can't remember the actress's name, but her character name is Naru. She looks like, I think she's supposed to be around 15, 16, maybe 17. The actress is actually in her early 20s. So I give him credit because I really did think she was that young. But then when you see her in real life, you're like, oh, that person's in their 20s.
Yeah, her name's Amber Midthunder.
Yes.
We were talking about the authenticity of the Native Americans being portrayed.
Right. Well, that was one thing. But so the plot is, it starts off and they're on this hunt and there's basically a custom where you go on a hunt and I think only the men do it, but she really wants to do it. And they build her up in the beginning, which is fine. It's character building and stuff of her out there, hunting a gazelle or whatever it was. And there she is practicing her axe throwing. And I mean, this kid is just awesome. She's nailing that tree from 10, 15 yards back. No problem. Every time, chuck, boom, into the tree. Goes and gets it. Chuck, boom, into the tree. No problem. I mean, she's great.
She's almost as good as I used to be with my shuriken.
There you go.
Just saying.
in the 80s, if you were a teenage boy, you had throwing stars.
Everybody had throwing stars, and you had all different kinds.
So anyhow, and then, the Predator comes to Earth, and, the whole Predator thing is he only really goes after threats, and he sees obviously the males as threats. So he goes after them. And then as that's happening, she's learning, she's watching and stuff. There's one point where she's like, she got her foot caught in a trap that the French soldiers put down, and the Predator comes up and doesn't even bother with her because she's not a threat. And the Predator only goes after threats. Isn't that right?
It is. It is. But, the other guys all had, they had weapons and stuff like that. Her brother is like the main hunter for the tribe. She's got to go. The story is really of a coming of age story of a female tribesman who should be gathering and doing stuff like what a traditional girl would do, turning into a woman into it, versus becoming a hunter like the boys do. So it's a coming of age kind of breaking the mold story. And how do you do it? If you are going to become a hunter, you have to go against something that's going to hunt you. That's like their big test. In this case, it winds up being a predator. What luck?
Yeah. One of the things, and this is nitpicky stuff, because overall, I didn't think it was awful, but things that stuck out to me were the dialogue between the Comanches. Now, it was in English, so that's fine. And we had subtitles on because it was kind of loud. There's a band playing at the hotel, and we could hear it outside the window and stuff. So the subtitles were on, and every now and then they'd say a word, and it would say Comanche. But then a lot of it was English. It's like, okay. And I don't mind that. But what I did mind was, I guess, the vernacular, the way the dialogue was written, sentence formed, and all that just sounded too modern day. I don't know. I'm like, this movie takes place in the 1700s. These are Native Americans. And this literally sounds like teenagers talking today.
Yep.
And that really pulled me out of the movie. It really did. And yeah, I mean, that just bugged the crap out of me.
Yeah, and it was kind of like it's like they were talking today. Any teenager, if you guys talk to teenagers or you are one, you know how it sounds. Literally, that's what it was. And they did not speak like that 300 years ago, because this is set 300 years ago.
Go watch Dances with Wolves, damn it. I didn't walk out of that movie going, well, those Native Americans sure acted well, but boy, it sounded like they were talking today.
Right. I expected them to go, Tatanka.
I don't know what these are.
What? That's literally what they did in Dances with Wolves. Go back and watch it.
It's been 30 years. I'd rather go back and watch Waterworld, a true classic with Kevin Costner.
Oh my God, if I could kick you off the screen right now, I would.
So anyhow, the fight scenes in this movie, somebody I saw said they were well choreographed. And I agree. They were well choreographed. But, however, I thought that some of the jumping around and stuff that the Native Americans were doing when they were fighting the Predator was just a little too much. Like, I was just like, that just, once again, that looks like modern day athletics when it comes to the rolls and the dive rolls and some of the jumping, the way they did it and stuff. It looked like modern day fighting. And
it was a mixture of
were the
kung
Comanches
fu.
that badass?
It was a mixture of kung fu maneuvers, martial arts of some sort, mixed in with Jedi moves. I was waiting for her to pull out a Jedi saber and turn around in circles and go like that, like Obi-Wan from A New Hope. No, seriously, it was very well choreographed. The fight scenes looked great. It made sense what they were doing. It's just, you're right. What they portrayed, just like their vernacular, had nothing to do with the period 300 years ago because they just didn't do things like that.
Right.
But it was engaging. So that's what they're trying. They're not looking for authenticity. It's the Predator, I guess.
You think they'd want to go speak to some actual Native Americans, Comanche or not, just to go, hey, this is what we're doing. What do you think? Stat Zero, the movie actually produced diversity. I have not heard so many different opinions about a single movie in a long time. That's true.
I agree. I mean, the reason why everybody we talked to there had already seen it, and everybody had their opinions. I talked to people that said this is utmost garbage I've ever seen. And then I've got people I talked to that said, wow, that was a masterpiece. I've never seen anything so great in my life. And then there's everybody in the middle. And honestly, I couldn't agree with most of them. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. There were some things I liked about it. It was all right.
Yeah, it was just all right. We're in the middle. And then what was it? I thought the Predator looked pretty cool, so I didn't have a problem with the way the Predator looked. He looked pretty cool. But it came down to basically the Predator took out all the men on the hunting party for the Comanche. He took out all the French guys. So by the time, hello, Apex, by the time he gets to Naru, the girl, it's kind of like when you grab a jar and you're like, and then your wife takes it and goes click, and it's like, well, I loosened it for you. All those guys tired the Predator out. That's all they did. Oh, she beat the Predator. She beat a Predator that just took out like 20 dudes. Dude was tired.
Not only that, the point is she used her brain. She outsmarted the Predator from another world that's highly advanced, and the Native American 15-year-old girl wound up defeating the Predator because she used her brain. Now, the only thing, if you guys seen any of the original Predators, it had basically the same type of weaponry. The exception is the 3 dots that sit there and follow it instead of a laser. It basically has, we'll call them darts that go through spikes, darts. Yeah. So she is able to train it and then able to get it to shoot him. And, at least she used her head because, I mean, she's got these little basic weapons, sliding underneath, slicing it. They had one really awesome scene with the Predator fighting a giant grizzly. And I mean a big grizzly. And he beats the hell out of the grizzly with his bare hands, lifts up this 500-600-pound bear, and just rips him apart while invisible. And then the blood drips on. You can see the blood just going down there. He does that to a grizzly, but he lets Pippi Longstocking beat him.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the thing. I'm like, yes, I'm supposed to suspend belief going into a movie, because obviously if you don't, the superhero movies, none of these movies work. You have to suspend your belief, but you can only do it so far. And I'm sorry, I don't care how she used her head and was like, oh, the laser thing. She doesn't know what a laser is. She's just like, oh, lights come off helmet. So she sets the helmet down because, like Dennis said, once the lights are on an object, these like 3 darts go to wherever the light is. So, I mean, that's just the way it is. So she tricks the Predator. She slashes him up pretty good. He barely gets any licks in on her, and I was just like, I just can't suspend I just can't do it. I can't do it. This is such BS. And, people are bringing up Ripley from Aliens. Oh, well, she took out blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I just think they did a better job.
Yeah, but Ripley did it while sitting in that the big heavy machinery and walking the big. Think of it like an exoskeleton suit.
Right.
Ripley was very smart, and it was different. Ripley, there was an element of complete belief. She was a badass. She went through all this stuff, and each movie continued to prove it. This is a little bit different. The tribes themselves, again, as a story about a coming of age story, I thought it was very well done. It's a little slow in the beginning, but they do go through a lot of character development. So I enjoyed that because you do get to understand the tribe and her, the relationship with it. That was good. It's just the actual fighting with the Predator and how it all came about. I agree with Andy. We don't always agree. I can only believe so much with what she was able to do. Some of it just felt really contrived in order to let her win. It is what it is. It was fine.
CGC score 5.5 from this guy right
and I'm
here.
A 5-0. I'm right in the middle. It's a 5-0.
Yep. Well, if you average ours out, we're 5.25. So
yeah.
boom.
So see it if you want to. You might want to, just so you get your own opinion of it. Because like I said, highs, we got 10s and we've got 0s. So we are kind of in the middle.
Here's the nice part. It's only an hour and 40 minutes long.
Yes. Finally, they didn't overdo a movie this length.
And then,
but to cleanse our palate,
do it.
We decided The Grayman came out. And obviously, Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, I know that we knew that was coming out, and Chris Evans is a bad guy. How's he gonna pull this off? The Russo, Joe Russo and Anthony Russo put it out, Russo brothers. So it's a must watch.
Yeah, like Dennis said, Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans. Ryan Gosling basically was in jail. He gets recruited by Billy Bob Thornton, and I think it was like 2001, 2002, to basically become the secret operative for the CIA, go out, do hits, things like that. And you fast forward 20 years, he's out on a hit, and he doesn't do it. He, no spoilers for this, but he doesn't do it. And then he finds out from the guy. He does track the guy down. He finds some information out, we'll say, that doesn't ring well with Ryan Gosling and working for the CIA. So basically, he's on the run now. The CIA wants to take him out. Smokey Concat, hello. Apex Comics says Grayman was good. It was. And the CIA hires out Chris Evans' character, who's a little nutty in the head, quirky, sense of humor over stuff that you really wouldn't laugh at, I think, to go after Ryan Gosling. And it was, I enjoyed it. The action was really good. Talk about well choreographed. The fight scenes were well choreographed. The directing was really nice.
This was nonstop action. I mean, literally, it opens up, and you hardly get a breath to slow down. They do have great dialogue. Jessica Henwick, she's in it. She's also a CIA operative. We all know her from Iron Fist. She plays Colleen Wing. And she was in it. So it's interesting how people try and come full circle, in this. The relationship between Billy Bob Thornton and his, niece? I think it was his niece.
I think so.
Yeah, I think because Claire was the girl. I think she was the niece. But he protects her. He tries to get out. So it's all about protecting her. Alfred Woodward's in it, and she plays the good person who had gotten out of the agency and was involved with all this recruiting stuff in the beginning. She's great as always. The casting in this is top notch. Every single character that was cast in here, I wouldn't have changed a single person. One of the great martial art guys, he comes in at the end with some great scenes, dressed up in his fancy suits and everything. Also fantastic. I mean, this film was just nonstop great action with great acting all the way through.
Yeah, it really
put
was.
James Bond to shame, I actually thought.
Yeah, you said that, and I don't necessarily disagree, but I was thinking about it. I'm just like, but this didn't really. I don't know. I didn't think this had a very James Bondy feel.
We always talk about James Bond and how he's becoming more like a superhero, like with Pierce Brosnan and some of them. At least with Daniel Craig, they kind of brought him back down to earth a little bit. But the action, you always have to one up each movie with more action, more action. This one was as action packed as any Bond film, but it was believable action. That's the difference.
Oh, and by the way, I found out we should have kept watching the credits and Prey because there was during credit stuff.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess it could set up future stuff or whatever. I don't know, but
I don't care enough.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, do I really want to go back and watch this again?
Nope.
So, well, just fast forward to the credits.
Fast forward.
Yeah, is what I meant.
So, anyway,
hello.
Grayman is, in my opinion, an absolute must-see. I loved it. My wife was at home. We had let her know that Andy and I sat up in the hotel room and watched it. So she watched it on there, and she was texting in the middle of it. Oh, my God, I can't believe what a jerk Chris Evans is. Oh, my God, he's crazy. And, then, oh, my God, this was amazing. Oh, my God. My wife loved it, too.
Well, and, Chris Evans, he's a good actor. This was a totally different role from Steve Rogers, Captain America, just like when he was in Knives Out. That was totally different as well.
Yep.
He is versatile. So, yeah, I thought it was good. I will give it a solid 8.0.
Oh, I'm going with a 9.2.
Good Lord.
I loved it.
Lord.
Yep. This is some of the best stuff I've seen come out on Netflix. I thought it was great.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually a movie. So the question is, would I watch it again? Prey? Nope, I'm done. If I have to go back and watch the end credits, I would. Don't care about it at all anymore. I will watch the original Predator over and over again. That's just a fantastic movie. Grayman, I would watch that again. I really would. There were just so many great moments, like being handcuffed and how's he going to get away and what's going to happen. But it was realistic. Russo brothers.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The Russo brothers, once again, it had their trademarks in it. When they would go from one location to another, it was on the screen really big, kind of like Winter Soldier. Leg Kick has a great point. And we've talked about Old Man is awesome.
It is great.
I thought there was 8 episodes. So at the end of episode 7, I was like, oh, yeah, season finale next week. Just to find out episode 7 was the season finale. So that stunk. But
it made sense. It left off in the right spot.
Yeah, it totally made sense. But,
Old
Man's great. I give Old Man a 9.0. I thought Old Man was fantastic.
I really can't wait for another season. And I mean it. I really want them to put it out. It was, again, very well done. Chasing Amy. I mean, you got it all in there. So I can't wait to see where they go with this. And we did finish the finale of Orville.
Yes, we did. Which, no big spoilers. It was a solid season. But I tell you, the one thing I just cannot get behind, I don't give a shit if it's 800,000 years in the future, is a human marrying a freaking robot. I'm sorry. I can't get behind that. And Dennis was like, oh, well, it's kind of like, Data on Star Trek.
It is.
And I'm
It's a
like, yeah,
parody
it's
of
like, it
Data.
looks like a freaking human all the time, just like the Vision does. Still weird, but at least they look human all the time. In the Orville, the only way Isaac can look human is when they go into that one room where they can pretty much have any setting they want and, you know,
The
holographic
holodeck.
stuff. The holodeck. That's it. That's the only time he can look like a human. No, that is the only thing about the Orville that drives me crazy. Good Lord. So,
Yeah. And Val wants to know if you can do the Norm Macdonald impersonations.
well, if I can write and tell jokes in the way he does it, I don't think so.
One of the good things was Norm so he was in the final episode. He made it through all of them. We weren't sure when he passed, and we know he was filming. I didn't know if he was going to make it through, but he was. So I was very happy to see that Norm was in pretty much all the way from the beginning of the season through the end.
Yep, I was glad to see that as well.
Yeah, Leg did mention about
Terminalist was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
And he's getting tons of shit from SJWs and stuff. Oh my God, it's just a right-wing masturbation series. And Chris Pratt's just pushing back on him. I love it. I love to see that.
I do too, because it was well done, and
I'm not going to disagree about we'll probably see human marrying a robot in our lifetime. I won't disagree with that because people in other countries have already married inanimate objects that aren't even people. It's the stupidest thing. I don't think in our lifetime we'll see it to the point of it being normal. Like, you know, once a month, it's like, oh, so-and-so's getting married to this robot. So-and-so's doing, you know, I don't think we'll see it that our lifetime, but you never know. We have to go because I have to take my daughter to work. But before we go, everybody wants to see the trailer for Kor-Drath. Sign up for it now. Here is that.
Certified Badass.
Oh, yes, he is a certified badass, just like we are. We will catch you guys on Wednesday. We have special guest Andy Bellinger joining the show. He's the creator of Mother Trucker, now live on Indiegogo. Please go check that out. 5 p.m. Wednesday, we'll be back with Andy Bellinger. Until then, bye, everybody.
Live long and prosper.